G'day you beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been some time since I posted anything. I have an ongoing family medical emergency that is happening. I had a couple of hours this morning before my niece woke up. We're looking after her full time, so I don't really have the chance to play pretty much anything or record anything because I have to look after her. So just until she wakes up, I thought I would use this time to go over the version 43 patch notes which have been released. There is a lot of it, so we're going to go over all of it because I don't know when I will have a chance to do a part 2 or a part 3. So we're going to go over everything. So first of all, we have the visual update, which Dawnside is looking quite gorgeous. Duskside is looking a little less drab and still very dark. Dawnside definitely does look quite beautiful. So we have a bunch of images that we can go over. The new towers, which the turrets actually look quite cool. So we have unchained verticality with a newly opened skybox. Assassins like Kalari can traverse a new canopy to gank enemies. So that is meaning that there are no more, I believe there are no more invisible walls above actual walls. So if you are able to jump high enough to get over a wall between lanes, then you should be able to actually get over the wall instead of hitting that invisible wall. Breath of Life, the dawn side of Monolith is bursting with life and vegetation fueled by the giant orb of water that dominates the sky. That is going to be pretty cool to look at. Dusk side, deploy and destroy. Redesigned turrets deploy to show their active target and destroy state. As always, let your minions lead when you engage under turrets. So the turrets do actually look pretty cool. I've got to say that. Hopefully there's a little bit of an update to how they fire. In opposition to Dawn, the dusk side of Monolith lies under a veil of shadow, its darkness emanating from within. Okay, jungle, which is something I'm not too happy about. Wards are your best friend when taking raptors, as Wukong is always ready for mischief. So Wukong especially is going to be loving the new ceiling and all the walls he can jump upon and over. Find your path gone are the days of getting lost in the jungle. Each side is distinctly marked so you won't go running into enemy territory by accident. Not sure how that was a thing, but anyway. River, whip into battle. New open ledges allow for more pathways into the river, which Yin demonstrates with ease. Then we have the dividing line. A border and a place of danger. The river should be travelled with care. Prime buff. A little bit of BS about Aurora, because you needed to get some form of text in there. There are some changes to ye old prime buff, which we'll go over in a second. There's a pretty cool Stonewood Rampage skin. The Amaranth Forest the Amaranth Forest may appear beautiful, but it is home to the most wild, terrible creatures in all of Zakin. Feel the power of unbridled nature with Stonewood Rampage available in the stores. Okay, so apparently endgame celebrations are coming back. Hopefully they come back at least as good as they were. If not better than what they were. The video in the background still just kind of shows what we have now. So, yeah. Not even a teaser of how they're going to run. There is a new auto run ability in place so that when you go in to look at the store and buy abilities, you can continue to run, which is nice. And then we have a bunch of hero updates. Some I'm happy about, some I'm not happy about. First up, we have Aurora. Pretty much the gist with Aurora is that cast speeds are being increased and certain radiuses are being increased, so she's getting a bit of a buff. So Glacial Charge is being increased as far as cast speed goes, and there's no longer a brief delay before the dash begins. Hoarfrost has been increased by 20%, 10%, that is good math. Cryoseism cast speed has been increased as well. The initial radius has been increased from 700 to 850, and the secondary explosions stay the same size. Bellica's Seismic Assault damage has been reduced quite a bit. Not really quite a bit, but quite a bit. About 10%. and power scaling has been reduced as well from 1.88 to 1.67. Drongo's shrapnel cannon has been corrected a little bit, and Old Rusty's his boomerang should now bounce off of Steel's bulwark instead of being absorbed by it. Gideon is getting a little bit of a buff. His burden is getting a slow increase from 100 to 150. He's getting a little bit more health, a little bit more base health, movement speed, health per level, health regen, and armor. So he should be a little bit better because he is a little bit lackluster right now. Grim.exe's mana cost for his deflector shield is being completely removed, which is very cool. They're increasing his base health, his health per level, his health regen, and there is a bit of a bug fix for his glowing state after he toggles off suppression mode. Grux is getting minor improvements to his basic attack animation, and Smash and Grab should now target more reliably around difficult terrain. Iggy and Scorch. He's getting his health reduced, his burning sensation damage reduced, the power scaling on that reduced, the health gain per level is being reduced as well, and Molotov's having a bug fix. I don't really even feel like Iggy needs a nerf. I feel like people just need to stop pushing on a defensive turret hero when he's set up. Or if they do, know whether you're going to be able to kill him or take out his turrets. It's as simple as that, but this is a thing that's happening. And then they go on to give Kwong a buff by increasing the radius on his Judgment of Heavens and Fury of Heavens, and Kwong is someone that's extremely strong right now. So I'm not sure why he's being buffed at all. There's nothing wrong with Kwong. He's one of the best heroes in the game right now. Narbash, another reason why I'm not too happy. Some of my people, the granted health regen is being reduced. Why? Why? He was finally in a place where he was viable, and he was always viable, but he was finally in a place where he was the healer. Now you're reducing his healing. Why? My god, Crash Bang Boom has had its total damage reduced and the power scaling reduced. That's fine, but why would you nerf his healing? Oh my god. Severog is getting a bit of a buff. He's getting more health and more health regen. And his siphon stacks are being changed. So it used to be 20, 50, 90, 140 stacks. Now it's 10, 30, 60, 100. The maximum still caps out at 200, so it'll just be easier for him to get max stacks, or max passive stacks, which would be, you know, your 10, 30, 60, and 100. You still have a maximum of 200. But as far as the 140 or 100, obviously that being a max is a lot easier for him to get to. So he's going to get a lot more health and damage earlier on, so Severog can go back to being the powerhouse that he's supposed to be. Shimby's getting some bug fixes. Steel has had his bull rush removed. That is his charge. He's getting shield bash instead, where he strikes out with his shield, causing 88, 117, 146, 176 damage in a localized area in front of him. Enemies hit will be stunned for half a second. Costs 70 mana, and it has a 9 to 6 second cooldown. Then his shield slam is having its range reduced again. The area of effect has been reduced again. The bulwark is having its cooldown reduced by 4 seconds, which is pretty good. In general balance, he's getting reduced base mana and reduced base mana regen. FaZe is getting some, let's just say, some changes. Total damage has been increased on her energy lance, and the power scaling has been increased. Psychic Flare is getting a cooldown reduction of 2 seconds, and Telekinetic Link, they're increasing the healing from 12 to 30 up to 16 to 40. Okay, so that's not too bad. She's getting more health per level, mana regen per level, and they've done a bug fix for Psychic Flare. I wasn't too happy to see that she was getting a buff, but it's not really that bad. It's more so the Psychic Flare that bothers me. Even though it's only 12 to 10 seconds, I hate Psychic Flare, and I know a lot of other people do as well. So I don't really want to see it used more than it currently can be. Revenant is getting his gold bounty increased again from, used to be 6, 8 and 1,000, now it's going to be 1,000, 15, 2,000, so he can go on to snowball a bit better. His attack speed has been increased per level from 2.5 to 4. That only affects his reload time, so that's a bit of a weird thing to buff. The Phase Bramble Patch no longer restricts movement during cast, and the width has been increased from 160 to 200. Flytrap has had its radius increased as well, making her just that little bit better. Twin Blast is having a 1 second cooldown increase for Rocket Dash, and his Rapid Fire is getting a damage decrease in the percentage department. So it used to do 30, 35, 40, 45% damage to heroes, so that'd be 45% of his actual damage per shot to enemy heroes. Now it's going to be 25, 30, 35 and 40, and they've reduced the damage it does to minions from 45 to 40%. Wraith is getting a bit of a buff, which is pretty cool. His Knock Knock is having a mana cost reduction from 90 and 120 to 70 and 100. His basic damage per level is being increased, his health gain per level is being increased, his base mana and base mana regen are being increased as well. Yin's Lash Kick range is going back up to 850. They constantly change this. It'd be nice if they got it to one spot, that kind of worked. Movement speed increased from 690 to 705, doesn't seem like much, but it is something. Basic armor per level increased from 1.8 to 2. So Yin might actually be a pretty good pick right now. The Lash Kick was something, the range on the Lash Kick was something that sort of allowed it to be a bit lackluster. Zinx's Dirty Healing has been rebalanced for the bonus mana regen, so now instead of getting 3, 4 and 5% mana regen, it's just always 3.5%. They've increased the mana cost for health gain on her ultimate from 1.8.6 excuse me, to 1.11 and 0.9. In general balance, she gets more health per level, less health per level rather, less health regen at base, and less health regen per level. There is a bunch of generalized stuff and things, some face model updates for these three ladies. Sparrow and Belka, I definitely feel like they need it because their faces just seem so flat and lifeless. Fixed an issue where several heroes' abilities did not combo correctly with basic attacks. So that's Iggy and Scorch's Molotov, Murdoch's Buckshot, which is very important, and Clary's Crippling Dagger. And here's some stuff where I don't think that's a good idea. Towers receive a full visual rework, fine. Removed Amberlink, why? Stupid. Replaced by the green buff camp, previous green buff camp location has been replaced with an additional white camp. Gold drip, increased passive gold drip per minute from 288 to 390. Increase the speed at which drip is granted from 5 seconds to 1 second intervals. Oh my god. Where to start? You should not have gotten rid of the Amberlink. That is dumb. You are balancing the game around. Now, don't anyone get offended by this, but the game is now being balanced around lower tier players. The only reason why you would do that is if you wanted to make sure that it's less competitive and more easily accessed to brand new players. Like people down in the lower elos that don't really know what they're doing as far as the high tier strats go. A game like this should be balanced around highly competitive play. Then the lower tiers will experience, they'll still experience changes and they'll be better off for it because the game will be evolving based off of high tier play, highly competitive play. This kind of doesn't really change anything for lower tier players except for the fact that the junglers don't have to be good anymore, which I suppose is why they're doing it. But now the higher tier players, what's the point of even being a jungler? You don't even really need any specific skills in jungle. You just clear a couple of camps and do it whenever you want and then go gank. It's just giving people more time to roam around and less time actually having to clear jungle because They've also increased the respawn timer from 60 to 90 seconds on white camps, meaning that you have more time to clear them, more time in lane before they respawn. Generally just less time in the jungle. What's the point of having a fucking jungle if it's not that important? So they've updated hero kill bounties as well. The white camps are going to have one large minion that spawns. They get reinforced by white minions, small white minions. Most of the gold and XP is going to come from the large minion, 150 gold, whereas the small are 50 and 42 XP, whereas the small are 15. The green buff is having a gold increase from 150 to 200 and a 5 XP increase. The gold buff is having a bit of an increase. Black buff is now orange buff. That is simply just so that it stands out a bit better. Orb Prime is having its root ability removed and adding a new scattershot projectile that shoots 10 slow homing projectiles into the air, which distribute themselves evenly amongst all enemies near Prime Helix. They've updated the attack order, so now knockback will be last. Okay, lane minions spawn schedule. They've increased the amount of time before minions are added to the waves, so minions will be added on the 22nd, 38th and 58th waves. Previously it was 19, 31 and 48. So what this means is that later on in the game, as you notice, there will be more and more and more minions. There will be less now because it takes longer. It takes an extra 3 waves for the first increase in minions. So previously when you got to 19th wave of minions, there would be more in it. Now it's the 22nd, and then it used to be the 31st, now it's the 38th, and then it used to be the 48th, now it's the 58th. So it'll take a lot longer for these minion waves to become absolutely huge and unbearable. Excuse me. So then we have some card and gem updates. All updates are based on level 1 card values, but will affect cards of all levels. Okay, so auras. No longer require line of sight, no longer stack for Withering Shadow, Numbing Rogue, or Plague Lord Malink. Death. So that's actually really good that there's no stacking of those abilities, because they're completely obnoxious and shit, in my opinion. Okay, so Awaken the Emmerich. Fixed an issue where enemy heroes would deal increased damage to converted minions. Fixed an issue where towers would target the hero after using Awaken the Emmerich directly under a tower with minions already attacking it. Then we have Devastation. Reduce the power from 7 to 4. Increase power per structure destroyed from 3 to 4. So that's a bit weird. I don't feel like it's really that strong as it is. This is a death card that you cannot remove. I forget what that kind of card is, and it gives you power every time a structure is destroyed. You don't seem to get too much, so I'm not sure why they would make that weaker at the start, but that's fine. Finder of Playthings, reduce cooldown from 90 to 80 seconds, that is good. Grinning Spectre, increase true damage from 3 to 350, that is good as well. Not too many people tend to use Grinning Spectre. Lord Volstock, increased experience gained for every 10 seconds from 12 to 14, increased gold lost every 10 seconds from 60 to 100. Wow. Didn't think that needed a change. I didn't think people were even using it. Nameless Curse, reduced cost from 3 and 9 to 3 and 8, increased damage dealt per second from 60 to 65. Plague Lord Malink. Auras no longer stack, each effect can only be applied once per target, that's good. Possessed Spraken, increased power from 6 to 10, that is very good. Sorvok Initiate, increased cooldown from 35 to 45 seconds, great. Veil Stepper now grants 5 power, that's good. Warlock's Burden, increased max mana restored per second from 2 to 3%. Withering Shadow, here's a big one, reduced damage from 85 to 55, awesome. Plays cannot be damaged by Withering Shadow more than once a second. Great. Auras no longer stack. Great. Each effect can only apply once per target. Wound Seeker, increased power from 16 to 19. Increased attack speed from 18 to 21. That is great. That is, I believe, the card that gives you more damage against critically wounded targets. We have Knowledge Echelon Soldier fixed an issue where players were able to damage enemy heroes without exiting the shadow plane. OPD Militia fixed an issue where damage wasn't being properly displayed. Sleeper Agent reduced cast range from 1750 to 1100. That's good. That is really good. That card is super strong. Soldier of Fortune increased cost from 4 intellect to 500 gold and 4 intellect. Increased the bonus gold from 150 to 175. Increased bonus experience from 30 to 50. That's good. This is a card that allows you to gain extra gold by destroying a certain minion. Static Trap, they've adjusted the cost from 3 and 4 to 2 and 5. It's probably actually good to go there because then it makes it suit more so the casters and supports and whatnot. Supply Sergeant increased mana restored from 125 to 150. Thaumaturge fixed an issue with Thaumaturge was gaining a correct mana bonus. And Good Game Ultimate Unlimited Stacks. Wetware Virus now launches a homing projectile on activation instead of being instant cast. Order Crippling Glare now launches a homing projectile on activation instead of being instant cast. Reduced cast range from 1750 to 1100. They've re-enabled Gates of Salvation, which is great. Godmother Vigilant fixed an issue where the elevated effect was calculating incorrectly, granting too much health. Light Step Vanguard reduced cooldown from 100 to 60. Reduced channel time from 4 to 3. Growth Apex Predator increased power per stack. Increased ability armor bonus at the end. Reduced max stacks from 50 to 40. Reduced cooldown between stack applications from 6 to 4. Wow, this card is going to be good now. Fixed an issue where Apex Predator stacks were being lost on death. This is going to be super strong. It doesn't sound like much, but that's actually going to be a very good card. Flame of Zekken stacks are lost when card is disabled. Highwayman fixed an issue where Highwayman would grant gold when damaging yourself. Now will only grant gold if damaging an enemy hero. Mother Tree reduced base health regen per second from 4.4 to 2.2, and it grants 50% mana regen. Okay, fair enough. Fixed an issue where Spryken was giving less than the intended amount of healing. That's good because sometimes that just seemed like it wasn't working. Tyrant reduced power from 15 to 10. Increased power per stack from 0.4 to 0.75. Increased max health bonus at max stacks. And reduced max stacks from 50 to 35. Wow, Tyrant's also going to get very strong. Unbroken Spirit increased power from 13 to 18. I feel like a lot of this is also to sort of push junglers more towards actually using the growth cards instead of just going for, you know, some of the death cards. So Unbroken Spirit increased power from 13 to 18, reduced max health from 480 to 360. That's great as well. Because it's sort of a good card, but a little bit lackluster. Vital Waters reduced max health from 325 to 265. Fixed an issue with Vital Waters allowed Zincs to gain twice the intended benefits. That's good. Then we have Chaos Blitz Rush. They've reduced the cooldown to 25 seconds. Oh my god. That is awesome. Compensator Rig. Increased amount of damage dealt from 1 to 60 health missing to 1 per 55 health missing. Deathcrawler Mighty Strike attack will now be removed on basic attack regardless of if you hit a target. Okay. So that's kind of a bug fix then, I guess. June Winds increased max health cost from 100 to 150. Oh my god. Reduced power stack from 8 to 7. Reduced attack speed per stack from 7 to 6. Wow. This, because I've seen a few people using this and it's extremely strong. You do lose a lot of health though, so you're going to get a lot less stacks out of this because we're going to get less off of each stack because it's going from 8 to 7, but also you've got less chance of using the stacks because it's effectively going to, you're only going to get 2 uses, whereas before you would get 3 out of 300 health. Pressure Hunter increased damage bonus per vitality point difference from 2 to 2.5. That's great. Riot Sapper increased current mana removal from 20 to 25. That's awesome. That is a very good card. Nitro Boost no longer grants attack speed, grants power instead. That's awesome. That is great for an early game card. Nuke Blood Mutant increases buff duration from 6 to 7 seconds. Profiteer increased gold gain per enemy minion kill from 55 to 60. Reactor Beast fixed an issue where passive would activate when killing Aurora's Ice Clone. Thorned Yomi card has been re-enabled. Unstable Cyborg reduced range from 1500 to 700. Increased cooldown between activations from 0.4 to 0.5. That's pretty good. Card system bug fix and polish. Multiple cards. The following cards will no longer break if break you out of ability targeting when activated. So there's a bunch there. So that is good. Gems. Note all updated gems once again are PvP normalized, but will affect gems of all roles. Consume the Dead reduced healing based on target's max health from 15 to 10%. Okay. Healing Towers fixed an issue where Tooltip was displaying as plus 1.2 mana regen instead of plus 25% mana regen. Improved Killing Blows, increased gold per kill from 5 to 6. Is that really worth it? Jungle Lifesteal increased flat health restore from 4 to 5. Definitely good. And Quick Exit, they've reduced the movement speed bonus. Dang it, I love Quick Exit. Now we have some chest updates. Chests now have normal rewards, cards and gems, and one special reward. Chests and keys are now considered a special reward. Skins and emotes found in the chest match those found in the store. The chance to get a gem has been doubled, and special rewards differ per chest type. Okay, so for a bronze chest, these special items, okay, so when you open a chest, you will get normal rewards and one special. So in a bronze chest, the chance that you have is to get 5,000 reputation, 1 win XP boost, 1 win rep boost, a rare or epic card, or a silver chest. Out of every one of those bronze chests, you have a chance to get one of those things. In the silver chest, you have a chance to get 10,000 rep, 1 win XP, 1 win rep, rare or epic card, and or a gold chest. In the gold chest, you have a chance to get 25,000 rep, hero skin, hero emote. The XP and rep boost again, rare or epic card again, diamond chest. In the diamond chest, you have the chance to get a loot crate key, 50,000 rep, hero skin, hero emote, XP boost, rep boost, rare or epic card. So you don't have a chance to get a loot crate out of these? Okay. Okay. That's, yeah. So you're hoping on getting them out of the in-game screen. Card unlocking is now operational. You can unlock cards you don't have with reputation via the inspect screen. Hero leveling XP has been reduced for ranks 1 to 4. Adjusted starter decks, added 2 new starter decks per attribute and renamed the old one. So you have a bruiser, burst, and a control for agility, a tank, an initiator, and a fighter for vitality, and a burst, control, and support for intellect. Hopefully these are pretty decent. Heroes have all been assigned 3 of the above starter decks. Some heroes have mixed attributes. Hopefully this might be alright, better than the crap that we have at the moment. Gem inspection screen has been added. Added a card collection tutorial to introduce cards after your first match. Added 10-second pre-spawn in-game chat notifications for River Gold buffs, Raptors, and Old Prime. Auto run added to the game. Once the user gives movement input, ability usage input, or cancel input, it will stop. Default key on keyboard is number lock, and for controllers it is team comms as L1. So that is definitely, as we said before, a very good option. End match cinematic added, which we talked about it. We have some polish and bug fixing, which I'm not going to talk about. We have loot crates update. So gold keys now guarantee an epic or legendary reward instead of rare or up. So the rare rewards that are being added are Crimson Alien Drongo, Royal Default Fang, Onyx Default Fang, Ichor Default Richter, Solar Default Richter, and they're getting rid of the 2 Steels and the 2 Fang Mouse. Now, there is also a bunch of visual effects and projectile improvements, which I'm not going to go over, because they're kind of boring. I'm not going to go over the AI fixes because who really cares when you're playing bots, because they can improve them all they want, they're still trash. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I need to go and wake up the munchkin, get a breakfast. I'm sorry for that being a bit of a rush through, but I needed to get it done so I could get back to life things and stuff. I'm not sure when my next video will be out. Hopefully I manage to get a bit of time to play the new monolith tomorrow and get something out. I'm thinking maybe we go and have another match on Aurora and see how good she is now. But that is it for now, guys. So if you enjoyed the video in any way, shape or form, please smash the like button. If you disliked it, press the dislike button. If you have any questions or any opinions on anything that I said or this blog post has said, please leave them in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you're not already. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I love your face, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.